Hi there! I decided to make another video where TBR Jar picks the books I read because I enjoyed it a few other times that I did it. I made videos about that, but hopefully this one is gonna be more interesting. Yes, that's actually what I wanted. um, it's gonna be reversed. Taylor Jenkins read Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. I was thinking about reading this book. What? That's a sign. I actually have it physically in English. That's crazy. I have like 4 books in English, and that's one of them. That's amazing. So this is a spellbinding novel about love, glamour, and the price of fame. Evelyn Hugo is the glamorous idol you admire, but she's also the relentless fighter you aspire to be. Her life story is heartbreaking yet beautiful, and will keep readers captivated until the very last page. I read only one book by Taylor Jenkins Reid, which is Daisy Johnson's The Six. I love this book. I read it at the right time in my life after I went to concerts of my favorite bands and I came home um, having like a post concert hangover. Well, I went to Mexico to see my favorite band and I've been to many countries to do this. Yeah. So I came home from Mexico wishing that I would be still traveling, going to concerts, and I read Daisy Johnson The Six, and it was just the thing I needed. It was had the right vibe at the right moment of my life. I didn't give it like 5 stars, but it was 4 because there there's more to the story than just music and concerts, but all in all, I enjoyed it. It was fun, it was fast paced, it was dramatic, just what I needed, and maybe this one as well. What I need at the moment. I don't understand yet if it's a thriller or just some drama with a mystery or just drama with some romance, or I don't know. I hope it's more into thriller side, but we'll see. I'm on page. What page? Where are pages? I'm on page 149 of Evelyn, The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo, and I enjoyed it a lot so far. I like the story. And I wanted to read this book before I pulled out a piece of paper with the name of this book. I looked at my bookshelf and thought what I would want to read. And this is the book that I thought about. And then I got this book. there there are some things that I needed like to hear at the moment. There are some things that kind of resonate with me, and this book got to me on time, at the right time, and I paid attention at the right time and I started reading it at the right time. I enjoyed a lot. This is the story about Evelyn Hugo. She is like a former actress from like the 90s, 80s, 90s, 60s. uh, somewhere there, she was huge, and she is still huge. And she finds this girl, Monique. She wants to write for magazines, but Evelyn Hugo wants her to write her autobiography, not autobiography, her biography. And Monique goes for it. And but there is something strange because Evelyn Hugo requested Monique specifically, and Monique never crossed paths with Evelyn Hugo, but Evelyn decided to trust her whole life. And she's famous for having 7 husbands, and no one knows her full story. I guess she never did an interview or something like this, and finally she tells the truth. And it should probably have some connection to Monique. I enjoyed this book. I like both Evelyn and Monique, and it's pretty interesting to read about Evelyn Hugo's past. So I finished reading 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. I liked it a lot. I give it 4.5 stars. Maybe something between 4.5 and 5 stars. It's good. I liked it a lot. It got to me at the right time of my life. And after reading this book, I was left with the desire to watch a movie with Evelyn Hugo. Evelyn Hugo is an interesting character, and her image is a gorgeous, stunning, beautiful, hot woman, and I was left with the desire to see this and watch a movie with her. She's also a great actress, but she's a fictional character, unfortunately. But if you read this book and you had the same desire and you didn't know what to do, what to watch, Evelyn Hugo quotes Rita Hayworth. The quote is, "Men go to bed with Gilda and wake up with me." I googled Rita Hayworth. You may know her from Rita Hayworth and Shawshank Redemption. I was like, how are they connected? And then I remembered that the main character had a poster hanging on the wall at his cell, a poster of Rita Hayworth. And I googled her, and looks like she had a kind of similar life to Evelyn Hugo. Maybe Taylor Jenkins Reid was inspired by Rita, I don't know. And Rita actually had 5 husbands. So, and that quote about Gilda, she's got a movie that's named Gilda, and she plays a main part in that movie, the woman named Gilda. So I decided to watch that movie, and I think it's like the closest thing to Evelyn Hugo you could get. Maybe there are some other actresses and other movies, but I don't know anything about them. And I think Rita Hayworth is absolutely gorgeous and stunning woman, and you can watch a movie with her and imagine it to be something what Evelyn could do. Another book that I got from my TBR jar, that that jar, uh, is The Darkness by Icelandic author, and the setting of the book is in Iceland. I didn't enjoy this book. I read it pretty fast. It was fast paced, it's short, but it was super simple. But what kept me reading was I think it's called a blurb, the thing on the cover that other authors say, some quotes, that the ending is so unexpected that against all the rules of the genre, and I was curious to see what it is. Well, the ending is actually what you don't see often in thrillers or detective stories. Well, I saw this once in other book. I'm not gonna name it because it would be a spoiler. Darkness is about a detective. I forgot her name. Something like Hilda. I don't want to pronounce it not correctly. She's about to retire from the police, and she gets to solve a cold case about a Russian woman who was found drowned in Iceland, and that Russian woman was kind of a refugee, and was waiting to see if her case would be accepted, if she would get like citizenship. That was ruled as a suicide, like she was depressed, tired of waiting. But the detective decides to open up this case. She thinks there's more to the story, and there was more to the story. It wasn't anything crazy. I didn't like some references to Russian girls, but anyway, it was okay. I would give it like 3 stars, and this book is good to pass the time while you're on a plane, train, or waiting for plane, train at the airport and train station. That's it. Stephen King Insomnia. I'm already started this book a few weeks ago, and I stopped it for a while to film some videos, and but I guess I should keep reading. Insomnia. Well, that's interesting. I have a cat that stays with me for like 10 days. That's not mine. Her name is Cinnamon, which is Karitsa in Russian. Karitsa. She is cute, and I like it having her here. Karitsa. Insomnia by Stephen King is pretty big. It's 800 and something pages, and it's going slow. I'm not that fascinated by the story. I don't know where it's gonna go, but for now, it's the story about a man. His name is Ralph, who lost his wife and also lost his ability to sleep. He sleeps like 2-3 hours a night, and he sleeps like less and less, and he starts seeing things and like hallucinating maybe. And it's interesting. I like the characters, but it's not that interesting. So I would be willing to read it pretty fast the for this video, not to drag it for a long time. Um, it kind of goes slow as I was reading the book The Terror by Dan Simmons. It took me like 1 month to read. It was a slow beginning, and somewhere in the middle of the book, it picked up the pace, and I was so immersed in the story. And here I'm not even in the middle, so it's gonna take me a while, and I want something quick and fun to read. So I'm gonna pick another book from my TBR jar. But if I don't like the next book I'm gonna pull from TBR jar, I give myself a permission not to read this and not to try again. I'm just gonna keep reading Insomnia. So let's see. Okay, I already read this book, so it doesn't count. It's just still in the jar. Okay. I need time to think if I'm gonna go with this choice. So Lisa Stone, The Cottage. The Cottage. The Cottage. How to pronounce this? I don't know. It's 350 pages. The font is average. Let's see what it is about. Yana. The name of the main character, Yana, so I thought maybe it's someone from Russia who writes under a pseudonym? But looks like it's someone not Russian. I'm not excited about. So this is about a girl, Yana, who stays at some cottage. I need to know how to pronounce this.
Cottage.
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 Cottage. I'm gonna pronounce it as cottage, right? Can I pick another word instead of cottage? In a cabin. Cottage. So Yana stays in a cottage. My English is good. So Yana stays in a cabin. I'm gonna use cabin. In like secluded area, and she's like happy about it, so she would be able to write something. She writes, what does she write? Her novel. So she's a writer, I guess. But at night she gets bothered by some night guests. I don't know what they do. I guess they're like lurking around the cottage. She's paralyzed with fear, going insane. Yana believes if she's not gonna leave this place, she's gonna lose her mind because she stays in a cottage. I'm sorry, it's not easy to pronounce. Cottage. Cottage. По-русски. Cottage. Cottage. It's somewhere in some village. I thought that cottage is like super secluded, but it's in the village. And she suspects the villagers. Is that how people who live there are called villagers? The people who live in this village, she doesn't trust them. She thinks they hide something from her. 3.7 on Goodreads. It's okay. The gripping new psychological thriller from Lisa Stone. No, it's about another book. What? Okay, they translated it Yana instead of Jan. Jan. There are two different stories in the book. Jan or Jan, who is leasing a cottage in the woods and being tormented by strange goings on and mysterious sightings, and then couples who are giving birth to deformed babies that are taken away by a midwife and told they are stillborn. What is going on in this cottage? Okay, if I'm gonna pick between cottage and insomnia, my choice is insomnia, but maybe I should pick another book because I want to break from insomnia. It's just going so slow and it's gonna take me a long time to read this, so or I'm just gonna read The Cottage just for fun and be able to say cottage. I don't know why it amuses me. The way I can pronounce it correctly and the way it's pronounced, but I didn't have any trouble with pronouncing hi cat. Look at her. I didn't have any problems ever to pronounce cottage cheese. Maybe I don't pronounce it correctly, but it's not a problem for me. But the cottage without the cheese is kind of harder for some reason. So maybe I'm just gonna read it for fun to see what the hell is going on in this book. Maybe it's gonna be something good. Maybe I'll do enough it. I'm on page 121. Look, here's Cat. It's 2 more days with this cat, so I'm gonna use her for content while I can. So, are we still here for the book or for the cats? I got sick, but I also finished reading The Cottage. I gave it 3 stars. It's not bad. It's fine. I wish the author would put more work into the characters. They all felt kind of childish, and their behavior was more like hysterical children. But the story that was happening in this town was quite interesting. It's weird, but interesting. I would like to get some explanation about the reasons behind all of it, like why would someone do this? What was the point? So this is one of the books that's great for to read when you're waiting for a plane, train, bus, whatever, when you need just pass the time and to have a quick read, not to overthink. And not to get too deep, not too attached to the characters where you can be distracted easily. So it's fine. Yes, I would like to see more complex characters, and there's some unexpected romance out of nowhere, but fine. So yeah, I enjoyed making this video. Hope you enjoyed watching, and thanks. Bye.